guaranteed at my soul. You've heard it all before.
G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Got my Duffy hat on for you today. My favourite part about this hat, the little tail at the back. It's a fun added feature. Especially when I wear it front ways because it just sits right here. Anyway, back ways. This is a video in my jumbo journal. Can you believe I've still been journaling even though I'm doing my Virtual Voyage 8 this week? I have made time for both, which is miraculous considering just how all-consuming these workshops can be. I'm having a blast. It has only really just kicked off a couple of days ago. We started on Wednesday and it's Friday now, so Wednesday we had our embarkation day live stream, which was great. Then Thursday we had our first cruise activities video tutorials, today's port treasures downloads. So we've only really done a few things, but these things move super quickly because it's only a 2-week workshop. So if you haven't gotten into it already and you are looking to get into the live version, this will be your last chance for me probably to hear it, to jump in there for Virtual Voyage 8, back to Burtonville. We're having a blast. Tomorrow is our theme night live stream as well, so we'll be dressed up doing a little live party tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. I have to go and work on that after this video. But I wanted to grab my jumbo journal because what you're seeing on the screen here, this pick box, I have all of these pick boxes in that cupboard behind me for Etsy shipping. All of my stuff is in there. I have one of them that just kind of floats around the desks, and I put anything that doesn't have a home that will be journaled, and it's probably garbage. I put it in that. There's some non-garbage things in there, but I put it in this box and it was full, like chock-a-block full, actually to the point where I couldn't fit anything else in it, which is the sign that I have to bring it out, put everything on my desk like you see there, push it to the back, and I have to get rid of it. Like I have to use everything and deal with it. This is kind of what happens with me. I think it's kind of common if you're someone that has a lot of journals and has a lot of aspirations to journal every single facet of your entire existence. You tend to save everything and you have a bunch of different things going on at once, and so you think, well, I'm just going to put that over there because that belongs in that journal, or, you know, today I'm going to work on this journal because I've got to fix some of the things that are a little bit behind in this thing. Like, I mean, for me anyway, there's just so many things going on. This has been a system that has worked for me, but it really rarely gets to the point where there's just too much stuff and now I'm considering adding another pick box to the mix. I don't want it. It was kind of my rule to myself. Like I could only have this one box. Everything had to go in there and be dealt with. Otherwise it was garbage. So, I mean, there are some exceptions to that rule. Like other bigger art pieces I'll put somewhere else. But most of this is just, it's stuff. It's packaging. It's literal garbage. It's my balloon from my birthday. I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing as I'm doing. I'm going to live react to this and just have a blast kind of catching up with you, showing you my huge jumbo journal. It is actually a Trader Joe's paper bags, like the shopping paper bags. It's that all sewn together, and this one is almost full. You'll see a flip at the end. You can just see how chock-a-block full it is. I really can't put much more else in it. It's also almost too heavy. Like, it's getting too heavy to the point where like I just don't want to pick it up, and also that I would fear it's going to fall apart if I add too much more to it. So I think I'm going to put a few less pages in this time. This is 4 of the paper bags, and I've pulled them apart and they're all folded, and I'm going to sew those up after this video so that I can have a fresh one to work in. That will be my 3rd one that I'm starting since last Christmas. Last Christmas I used this for kind of like my December daily Christmas journal. Did it into the start of this year, finished that one. Now I'm working on this one. Or you can kind of see, if I don't cut it out, there's my other one. That's my Christmas one right back there. And then this one that I'm working on is right there. They're super huge, so I have to kind of set them up against a wall or like on a shelf, flat, because they're huge. You can see I can put a whole helium balloon in there. Anyway, let's just live react to what's going on in the video, shall we? I'll let you know all of my fun little stories that I can think up as we go. On the front, I've been putting any vinyl stickers, any waterproof, weatherproof, heavy-duty, hardcore stickers. I wanted to put those on the front because I did have this huge piece of ephemera that's from Outsiders Division. It's all my clothing is kind of from there. It says a brand for adults who never grew up. That was a big like insert they put with their package. And so it was a great front cover because I loved all the colors, I loved the sentiment, but it didn't quite fill the whole space. So I just decided to decorate those leftover spaces with stickers. And they kind of have to be waterproof or something vinyl just so that they can hold up because it's the outside cover. It goes under a lot of stress. These are little Milo candies. Candies? No, chocolates. If you don't know Milo is, I think it's malted barley extract is what I want to say. Maybe it's not extract. It's just malted barley. It's a very specific taste. and we put it with milk in Australia. I love Milo. These were little Milo things Steve got for me for my birthday, or just a few days before, just as a treat, and they didn't really taste like Milo. It was kind of like chocolate mixed with Milo. People sometimes will say Milo is like a chocolate drink. It's really not. It's literally like malted barley. I love it, but it was just kind of, those weren't super Milo-y tasting, which again, I don't know if it's just because it was with chocolate, I felt like it was kind of wrong. Doesn't really matter. Here's all my photos. There are a few sections of this journal that I will say I got very like trashy in, like I really didn't care if things were going well. I just kind of threw them down in there. That my headshot that I printed on a sticker, they didn't need it at the audition I went to, so I brought it back with me and I just stuck it in there and drew all over it. Things like that, like I don't care that they're in here, but sometimes they make it a little bit difficult to work on top of or around, because my photo paper, the sticker paper, is quite thin, so anything underneath you will kind of see like the seams and the lines and the creases. So I'll usually back the photos onto a heavier cardstock or another piece of paper just so I can avoid that. Sometimes I don't care and I'll just put it on top, but if you see me backing a lot of things, usually it's because I just don't want, there's too many folds and creases to work over. And I've been saving random things like that, top of the envelope. It's actually for my business license, so there's some value to keeping it, but that little packaging for that pen, didn't really need to keep that. It is garbage. But I like to keep them in there. Sometimes I think it's fun, like when I look at this Instagram account called Papers from the Past, I just like looking at all the packaging from all the companies. It used to look so different. So I assume in 25, 50 years, all this packaging won't look like this and it'll be a little bit nostalgic to look at. So I like that. Also the brands, like sometimes I really do like a certain product and I completely forget what it is. So it is actually a bit of a reference tool for me as well, because I don't write that stuff down anywhere. And if I chuck out the, like that was for a little pen refill. If I chuck that out, I don't really know what those pen refills are. So I don't want to have to go check, you know, my order history on Amazon. I can just flip open my journal. These are my designs for my new stamp set, which I just got my confirmation of yesterday. So they should be here maybe next week. They were a little bit delayed because they ran out of insert bags for one of the sizes that I ordered. It's completely like honest mistake. But yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to share those with you because I have those two new sets. The Guarls, which is kind of like my fashionista set, and then I have the Corner Pieces Mermaids, which is a new one. I also have a restock of the original Corner Pieces and the Unbothered set, the original one of that. That was like my first stamp set years ago. So I'm happy to bring that back. I'll let you know when they're going to be up in the shop. And a few post-it notes and a Budgie Smuggler tag. I think that's Steve's. I only have one pair of budgies and I don't know where my thing is. Do you know Budgie Smugglers? They're Speedos, for those who don't know. People here in America don't wear Speedos as much. Like, it's not as common. Like, I remember growing up, not everyone, but like, going to surf lifesaving clubs at the beach, like, everyone wore Speedos. And, like, I just remember, like, most people wearing Speedos or, you know, board shorts. It was either or. But here, when I go to the beach in America, like, no one wears a Speedo unless you're homo. So which, I mean, checks out in my case, but I think it's just funny. Cultural difference. Also, when you go to beaches in Europe, I mean, a lot of people are topless, so there's a lot of cultural differences, but I just didn't know that about the States before I came here. So, fun fact for my Aussies. Here's some more. Oh, that's Scrub Mummy. We have the Scrub Daddy as well. Those sponges are really good. I'm sure you know about them, but if you don't have one of those, pick one of those up. Do yourself a favor. Lovely dishwashing experience. We do use our dishwasher, but sometimes you got to scrub with that thing, and it's not super abrasive, but it gets the job done. So there's my plug. Unsponsored for Scrub Mummy. We've had both. We've had the Scrub Daddy and the Scrub Mummy. I think they were on Shark Tank. I used to love watching Shark Tank. And this is my skincare routine that no one asked for that I'm showing you. I use Shiseido Men. For the longest time I've used Shiseido Men. If you don't know this, I used to have really bad like cystic acne in high school, and I do not credit Shiseido Men for fixing that. It was hormonal, so once I was out of puberty, it kind of went away. I still get spots every now and again, and I can't help myself. I'm a bad picker, so that's unfortunate for me, but I will not be changing it. Until I do some serious damage, then I should stop, but I mean, I've really gotten close before and I haven't stopped yet. Anyway, I have all those little extraction tools. It was a bad thing when TikTok happened and everyone was doing all those extraction videos. I physically feel ill watching some of them, but then I went and got those tools and I was like, oh, well, now I'm not using my fingers, so it's all medical grade. But I should probably stop. But that's the skincare I use. I use the face cleanser, and I use there used to be a scrub, but I think now I only use the face cleanser, and then the hydrating toner lotion, and I use the eye cream, and I think the other hydrating emulsifying moisturizer or something. I don't know. I've used the whole set. My ex-boyfriend, a long time ago, got me into it, and I've never stuck with anything else long term. I use his, and then I just loved it, and then I kept buying it. And then, unfortunately, I've tried a few other things because it's very expensive. And I was like, I can't be spending this much money on my face. I used a few other things. I broke out like crazy. My skin felt really dry. Like, I felt negative side effects from not using it. And then when I picked back up using it again, my whole skin would just come back together. So there is something to be said for whatever my skin got used to. But, you know, for the most part, I don't think it's like an acne solve or anything. It's nothing going to fix your hormones. It's just beautiful skincare. So I really like it. It's getting kind of hard to find nowadays. I used to be able to find it at department stores, but I don't think their men's division is, I mean, it's obviously not as popular as their women's. So I don't know if they make it as much of it anymore. It's a little bit harder to source. Here's a spread for my birthday. I turned 33 on July 27th. And I'm very excited about that because, I don't know, 33 just sounds like a fun number. And I'm already enjoying it, so that's a plus. I went to Disneyland as well. Steve got me that Chanel Bleu de Chanel, Chanel Blue, and he actually had some little sample packets as well. So I've stapled one in there just in case I ever run out. I know I can get at least a one-time use from my journal. I also love it for scents. Like I love putting scented packaging, bar soaps. Like if you have a bar soaps packaging, put it in your journal. The scent memory for the sense memory, just incredible. So I use that. If you ever wanted to know what I smell like Bleu de Chanel. And then I had the Chanel number 5. Steve was given this as a gift, and I stole it because my gran used to wear Chanel number 5, and it just made me think of her. It's actually a hand cream. It has the weirdest little egg, like, it's the weirdest little shape and packaging, but it just smells like her. Yeah, I cried when I first smelt it because I just hadn't smelt that since I smelt it on Gran. And so that was a really nice thing to have, and I'm just going to put it on whenever I want to think of her. I always kind of lotion up my hands before videos, or if I would just get fatigued in my hands, I'll give myself a little hand. I'm literally cracking my knuckles now. I'll do it at my desk, give myself a little spa treatment, but I thought that was really serendipitous. So Steve let me have that, but that was the packaging in there, so those were nice. I didn't realize that both Gran and I wore Chanel, so there you go, keeping it in the family. I don't think my sister does. I don't think my mum, I don't even know my mum wears. No, my mum was Dior, or she used to wear Dior. My sister, I think, she used to wear Marc Jacobs, the Daisy by Marc Jacobs. I don't know if she wears that anymore. I think it's Flora by Gucci, which there used to be an Australian model that did that ad, and she did it was like just one line in the ad, and it was just Flora by Gucci. Like, I think it was just the name of the fragrance, but she has such a strong Australian accent. I used to follow models back when we were in high school. My best friend and I would watch fashion TV, and we were just so heavy into following the careers of all of these different models, especially the Australian ones, because we're probably convinced in our heads that we were going to be top models one day. Fingers crossed, could still happen. But yeah, so anytime I think of it, I just think of her really strong accent going Flora by Gucci, which we've obviously exaggerated because she didn't sound like that. Just that's where my brain goes. Anyway, these are all my little photos from my birthday photo shoot. Steve and I do have a little tradition going where we gift each other birthday portraits, and he did such a good job. I had such a great time going to do it. We actually did it on the day. I was going to go and do a day of work, and Steve was like, no, you have to take the day off. You have to enjoy your birthday and just like treat yourself. So I'm going to do a photo shoot for you. We were going to go to his studio, but I was going to tell you a story then. Like, I have a story to tell you about that, but I actually don't think I can say it online. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll be sneaky. We'll say it somewhere I know that the person it's about will never hear it. The shoot. Steve ended up doing it at the park, like just the park down the street. We did it all around our local neighborhood. So it's kind of got that, it's like a bit nostalgic for me. Not nostalgic, it's a little bit sentimental for me as well, because I have had like this weird experience since I've moved to the States where obviously I feel like I still call Australia home. Like, I'm Australian, so I feel like that's my home. but I also know that this is my home, and so I don't know, it's like an expat thing. I think you just feel a little split sometimes, but I think this is the first time I felt like, you know, when I looked back at the photos, I was like, oh, it's just me in my local neighborhood. Like, I don't know, I felt like I belonged here a little bit. Like, I've actually accepted that this is the place that I live and that I'm home here and that I belong here. But obviously, I still feel like, you know, my deep, deep roots are in Australia. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I go for walks around the neighborhood. Like, I go to all the little neighborhood cafes and local shops, and I go to the farmer's market, and I try to buy my produce from like the local growers and everything. Like, I do feel like I'm very attached and connected. And I think especially since I started working at Disneyland and now that I've started working at Knott's Berry Farm, like I also feel like I have other roots that kind of connect me here. So I don't know, there's something weird about that photo shoot that really set that shift in my mind. So here is some more garbage. Oh, these photos really quick because I don't want another cat, but I really do want another cat. Danielle got a little boy cat. She's been wanting a brother she has another girl cat called Billy. Danielle used to be our roommate. Steve and Danielle go way back into university days. And so Danielle hasn't been on my channel since like I first started it, but she used to pop up here and there when we lived together. But I still feel like Danielle's a part of my JLB creative universe. So anyway, Danielle got a new boy cat, which we've always said is so much more affectionate, and is true, because her girl cat is very independent. I think she just wanted a little bit more affection, and she thought, well, also they could play with each other and be brother and sister. So she got this little boy cat, and I helped name him, and his name is Bennett. So now there's Billy and Benny. She names them after musicians, because Danielle's an incredible singer and a beautiful musician, if you don't know. And I think it was Billie Holidays who Billy was named after, but that same day, Tony Bennett had just passed away, and she was looking for a name, and she was telling me about musicians, and I was like, what about Bennett, Tony Bennett? And she was like, oh, that totally works. Billy and Bennett, Benny and Billy, and Bill and Ben, the Flower Pot Men. I mean, it totally worked out. So I feel very connected to that cat now. He's super cute. I love a kitten. You should see my TikTok For You page. It's just kitten video after kitten video. Speaking of cats, here are all my cats. It's super hard to get a photo of Bianca, so most of them are of Oliver. He is a princess and he'll smile for the camera, but there is one right down in the bottom corner. You can see a photo of Bianca and I. She has been coming to sit out in the lounge room again, and they've actually been sleeping together today, touching. Bianca had her feet on Oliver, which is just out of this world insane. She never does that. So I think she's coming round 7 years later. Is he that old? No, we got him in 2017. He's 5 or 6. He might be 6. I don't know. He's a nightmare. I put this photo right here so it looked like he'd be eating the ice cream. This is another Disney brochure. I'll grab ephemera from everywhere. You know, my mom was FaceTiming me yesterday. I've been doing this too. I've been drawing around all of my photos. My mum called me, and she's doing her own journal right now. She's like really taken with the travel journaling, the junk journaling, and she said that she just loves collecting all the garbage because then she doesn't have to write about it, because she remembers everything when she sees the thing. So visual stimuli, I mean, I'm all about it, and I do agree. Like, even though I do write, I'll do it off camera because I think it's kind of boring to watch. Sometimes you'll see a little bit, but even though I do write, like, I don't know. I have my 5-year journal to kind of dive into some of those things, but a lot of the other time I process very visually. Like, I do art for art's sake, or to, you know, convey some kind of thing. But then photos, I mean, they speak volumes. All the memories just kind of flood back when I see the photos. But a lot of the trash, like the packaging and the things like that, they'll also remind me of something. So I mean, when I think about journaling, it is not exclusive. Like, I don't have this hierarchy of where things matter. I think a lot of the time what I hear from a lot of people that I watch, like, words are super important, and I do believe they can be, but I wouldn't say they're more important than visuals. Sometimes I think the visual can only be more appealing for some people to come back to and be drawn to, but sometimes I think they actually say a lot more than the words ever could, especially in the instance of like a really specific photo. Like, when I look at that little photo, there's my little new niece, Sophia. But the other one that I just kind of shut the page on, Savannah. I mean, she is wearing the most insane outfit. And I don't know why she does this, but maybe she's just insane. She will put on she's got a little clacky mule, little plastic heels. She's got a socks. She's got a cowboy hat. She has she's barely wearing actually any clothes. She'll have a tank top on and her little shorts, but she'll just have fairy wands, a backpack. She's got her stroller. She's got her twins in her arm. Like, she is a girl on the go. And that is just so hilarious to me. I would love to I love that visual. I could write it all down. I'm sure I could draw it, but again, that's a visual. Just writing that down in words, I don't know if I'd ever get the same impact as seeing it. So if you're someone that struggles with that in your head, like maybe you've over time heard like, you need to be writing. It's not all that it's cracked up to be. Visuals can be just as important, and sometimes can say more than writing. So just let go of all of those notions, I guess. My mum is helping me to reset some of those expectations, because sometimes I used to feel guilty, and even up until recently, I'm like, oh, I need to be writing a bit more because I'm not writing for some reason, which, again, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. The journals can be what they can be, which I think I've been saying since I've started and still learning it. That's my trash page over there. This is just my quick flip to show you the current state of the journal. You can see just how complete it is. I will give you a full flip, I'm sure, with chatting and everything, and then a music only one whenever it is fully finished. But for now, this is how much I've got left, and I'll just kind of tell you what's going on. This was worksheets for my Daisy Style workshop, just kind of the pre-foundation tutorials. I've got some Art Gelling the Magic stuff there, some photos. Here's my little kitty cat photo extravaganza. And then we flip that page. We've got lots of family photos, lots of photos of my new niece, Sophia, from when she was a newborn right up until like yesterday. Just a random assortment of family photos. We went and saw Tarzan at Moonlight. It was really fun. One of our friends is in it. Some art snack stuff. This is some Art Journaling the Magic, some work, just some sketches and some research. All my little Milo treats. That's a Zumba page. Every time I go to Zumba and take a photo, well, not every time, but a lot of the time I take a progress photo, I'll just stick it down there. We got that Queen Elizabeth thing from when we went to London last year, because I thought my auntie would want it. But I just had some spares. There's some more insane outfit choices by Savannah, our other niece. This is a bit of a dancing page. If you see this a little closer, it might make sense, but it chronicles a few dance experiences or some dance-related stuff. There's lots of packaging. That is my backing. That's my ghost stamp page for my 100-day project. I kept that. Bar of soap packaging. That page smells really nice. It smells very sandalwoody. A lot of these notes, I use these notepads by my desk, and I'm always just keeping once I've finished with them, I just pop them in my big old jumbo journal. That photo, all of those half-naked looking men photos down there, that was a photo shoot Steve did at the beach. It's not me. It's our friend Joey. He's like a really popular greaser. I think his name is Greaser Boy Joey on Instagram. You can go check him out. But Steve works with him and does a lot of photography for him. So that is something we did at the beach, and I just took a selfie while I was there. But yeah, go check that out. Those were some other older photos that I just found and scrumpled in there. That's a 2021 calendar to mark off my my dates for workshops and stuff that I just found. And this is my Daisy Style workshop, some samples. If you've done that workshop, these will look very familiar to you. And if we keep going, I got a jury summons, which I'm not a citizen here, so I can't do it. I'm sure that's why. Yeah, I can't do that. And that's the reason I keep getting asked to enroll to vote as well, but I'm not a citizen, so it doesn't work. This is a lot of packaging, my birthday balloon, and then I had to cut out one of the dogs, apparently. That was all Daisy Style workshop scribbles underneath all of that. And that's when we went to that Pride Day at the beach, and there's lots of photos on the other side. We had a lovely day. It was really fun. And I got a visor that I cut up. That's what that thing is. And a Pride drawstring bag that I cut up. Just some more photos from that. Some welcome home signs. When I went and did the 68th birthday at Disneyland and danced in that cavalcade, that was some of those memories. They gave us some of the little balloons, so I kept that. My birthday spread and my portraits and my little Disneyland trip. Look at all those tickets from Disneyland. I think I want to put some writing underneath there, or just put some more photos or stickers or something. But either way, I've got literally more than that. I had to find another place to put them all. Anyway, that is everything. That's my jumbo journal. I'll see you all in Virtual Voyage 8 if you're in there. If not, I will see you again next week, I'm sure, on Friday. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Speak to you soon. Bye.
What do we do to love? What do we do to love? When everything's said and done, what do we do to love?